back to the channel, to the podcast. Welcome to the Hood to Hooded podcast with your host, Dr. Chief this Sunflower. Come on in the room. Let me know how you doing. We all the way live. If you're watching on TikTok, make sure you go ahead and tap those hearts. Tap those hearts, guys. From the hood to the hooded. We stand in truth. Telling our story. Yeah, this is proof. The history talking. The wisdom reviving. This ain't just a lie. This is life. Yes, sir. What's up, y'all, on TikTok? Hood to hood, we survive. I hope y'all having a wonderful, wonderful day this Wednesday. Come in and tap the hearts. Tap the hearts. Today we got a little motivation for you guys. And if this is your first time catching the podcast live, my name is Dr. Chief the Sunflower, and I am your host. And as you can see from the title, we're just trying to motivate during this season that we are all facing in this crazy ass world. So y'all already know how that goes. So come in, tap those hearts, guys. It is free to tap the hearts. Make sure you like, share, smash that subscribe button. All right. I will highly appreciate it. I never even understood what that really means. I see the kids doing that, but I'm not going to say it because I don't understand it. I even asked chat, what does it mean? Like, what is it? I don't get it. Like, I'd be so confused. Thank you for hitting that like button. I really appreciate it. Shadow. All right, guys. Let me know how you're feeling, This is going to be more of a chill live. I'm not in like super teaching mode. So come in, ask questions. Let me know how you feeling, all of that good stuff. I see y'all lighting it up on TikTok. Thank you for tapping the hearts. Our goal is 1K hearts on TikTok. And we always meet our goal. So if you stopping in the room, just stopping by, go ahead and, tap a little bit. Let me know. Dr. Sean, you sending me some positive vibes. Let me tap you a few free hearts. It just helps with the algorithm so that people who might need this today, this might not be a message for you, but you might help the algorithm find someone who really needs this message today. And we're talking about, like, stop letting bills on your life. Subscriptions, bills, all of that. And if you young, stop trying to rush to pay bills. I be telling people this, like, don't rush to pay bills. Because once you attach those to you, it's a forever thing normally. When you come from the hood, oftentimes you're forced into that adult environment where you're forced to pay bills, and then you start on the rat race. Sometimes I have to laugh at myself. Hold on. Sometimes you in the rat race and the bills begin to own your life. Now, this is always a liability, and that's a word that we really have to pay attention to as we get older and we enter the workforce, or if you've been in the workforce for decades, a lot of things that you're paying for are liabilities, right? So consistency must be done with $0. You know, what's up on Facebook? Hey, how you feeling? How you feeling? How you doing? Happy belated Mother's Day. So that's what we're gonna talk about. Somewhere along the journey, a lot of us stopped living and we started maintaining. Now I know this is a lot of people. People don't like to talk about this, but I like to talk about those subjects that can really help somebody today, right now, de-stress, because it's a lot of stress going on, and a lot of times you can get infected with stress and you might not even know it. She said, thank you. Maintaining bills, maintaining your stress, maintaining your appearance, maintaining the survival. A lot of people are just not living, they are in the state of maintenance. Not maintenance on things that they want to maintain, but like I said, bills, stress, trying to look good for Instagram, or Facebook, or TikTok, or for their friends. You know, you want to act like you got it and stuff. Or maintaining just to survive. A lot of people are maintaining just to simply survive. So today I want to talk about transformation, because many times to transform, you have to do it while you even broke. You have to stop maintaining liabilities and start enhancing your assets. Many times bills are not attached to assets. So if you find yourself making a lot of money, 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week, 80 hours a week, 2, 3 jobs, just to give it away to things that are liabilities. And let's clear it up. A liability is something that do not make money. It's something that you have to pay money to have. Such as, I think rent is kind of like a liability. Not kind of a liability, it is. A lot of the bills that we pay are just liabilities, because you're going to work on the hamster wheel every month, donating everything to someone else's vision. You're a doctor. Yes, I'm a dentist. A doctor of dental surgery. So yeah, y'all can ask your dental questions as well. This is a pretty much open chat. You really should lead the chat more than me. What's up? Thank you for liking the stream on Facebook. Make sure y'all go ahead and tap those hearts. Wherever you watching from, is going to be some hearts. Tap them for me. Tap, tap, tap. All right. We glow. All right. So that's what we talking about today. Transformations. How can we transform our life? Not fake luxury, not pretending like everything is perfect, you know what I'm saying? But real transformation for yourself. Not for the internet, not for your friends, but for yourself. When you can actually live your life versus, I guess, maintaining your stress, if that makes sense. So, somebody is sitting there right now with $0. But somehow they feel freer because, you know, they may not be attached to a lot of stress, a lot of bills, a lot of appearances, and they have assets. Well, it's never cool to have $0. But what I'm saying is, when you come from the hood, sometimes you have to start with nothing. But what else do you have? If you don't have money, at least you have your creativity. At least you have your mind. You have potential, you know? So don't take your potential for granted and give 20, 30 years away working for someone else, trying to maintain some shit that really is not living, when you should really be living in your greatness. Like, how does that look? A lot of people who become millionaires, they don't hit that mark until they're 40, 50, 60. Now with the internet, it's so much potential. And I like to tell people, you have to really be ambitious and just one of them people. Because 12, 13 years old, I was trying to get $1. There was no internet. Well, there was internet, but there was no like social media, and you had to put things on floppy disk to get some janky internet. It wasn't how it is now. You didn't have the opportunity. So for me, even being that young age, I'm trying to go around the city, my city, doing hair. I got grown people picking me up to braid their hair. You got to get it how you can get it. You know, age don't have nothing to do. It's all about the person and what you are willing to do to transform your life out of just, you know, the matrix. And if you Niji, OCO to my Niji out there, y'all already know what the matrix does. It's all an illusion. So sometimes the most dangerous thing in the world is building a life that costs too much to carry emotionally. This just means that a lot of people aren't living. They're building lives that don't carry them emotionally. What's up with people walking around with these ice bright teeth? Is there a new dental service? Is that a new dental service? Ice bright teeth? What do you mean ice bright teeth? Wait a minute. I don't. You mean like bleach white teeth, like veneers and stuff? So if you see people walking around with perfect white, perfect teeth, see my teeth, there people would say, "Oh my gosh, your teeth are so white." But if you really look, they're kind of like little natural yellowish tint. But if you get people who have bright white perfect teeth, a lot of times those are crowns or veneers because they want that perfect smile. So if you get people walking around with that, which is what you're probably referring to, this is a procedure that isn't really new, but it's, I would say, more popular now with social media taking off. A lot of people just want the perfect smile. So the way that many people do that is through veneers, which is just kind of like shaving a little bit off of the front of the teeth and then kind of like gluing porcelain veneers to the front of the teeth to give you that perfect smile look. And the bright white, what did you say, ice white? To give you that bright white smile. So a lot of people love that. Some people want the natural white, which is really not white. Let's see. You see how this is white, but my teeth are like not really white? You get it? But yeah, bleaching, all of that can whiten teeth, but the veneers really give you the I know ice white. What? Hey man, do you want the ice white smile? Good question though. I like questions, so drop the questions in the chat. All right. A lot of people realize they spent years chasing income without asking, if you like the life that you're attached to, right? So as a dentist, I spent a lot of years like chasing income and not really saying, do I like this life that it's attached to? Because one very important phrase that a lot of us have heard is, if you love what you do, you will never work a day in your life. This really applies, especially if you climb up the ladder where you have accomplished your dreams and you're in your career of choice and you're in your dream job. Sometimes that dream job can turn into a nightmare if you aren't attached to why you're doing it. What is the purpose of you doing what you're doing? It can't just be the money. Because a lot of times the money just goes to this bill system, to your subscriptions, and to not living your best life, right? So some people realize, dang, I've been chasing this income. What do I have to show for it? Make sure that what you are working for, you are investing in something where you can show something for it. My number one thing is land. After all of this decades of me working and going hard and trying, I had an epiphany lately. The number one thing in assets is real estate and land. Rent is not an asset, guys. It's just not an asset. I don't think kids should be kicked out the house to pay rent. I don't. I think they should be taught about financial literacy in middle school even. even in high school. But nowadays, with this economy that we live in, with this government, with this system that we are faced with, they don't want to teach you how to become an entrepreneur. They don't want to teach you how to sell things. They don't give you the skills necessary for you to go and a lot of the young kids to go out here and be financially literate, have great credit scores. The parents aren't like starting the process. So those are some of the generational curses that people really don't talk about much. But I blame the school system. I blame the generations who have not kept this information going, or a lot of times you have to just blame yourself, because if you know something is not working for the family, you have to change it, right? So that's why I say you can get caught up after high school if you're not intentional 10, 20 years later chasing the income just to pay liabilities, rent, things that aren't really going to be able to carry a legacy, things that you can't pass down to your children. Okay? So if you have success, and as a dentist, I'm often put into stressful environments where it's a lot of stress attached to the income. But if you have success without peace, this is just expensive suffering. I had a patient tell me, I was like, man, this entrepreneurship shit is not for the weak. It be having me like stressed out sometimes, and many times I have to overperform, and it's okay because I also love the benefits of it, but it's not easy. Some people see it and they think, oh, it's easy. It's not easy. Even chasing your dreams isn't easy. Getting out of the rat race isn't easy. There's some nights you got to stay up late after work to make the transition work. You can't just go to work and say, I'm going to do it one day, because one day turns into 10 years or 20 years or 30 years and you have nothing to show for it but years of working and working and getting to the end of those decades of working and saying, you know what? That wasn't a good idea. And that's what I realized. I'm like, dang. Of course I wasn't raised in the house with my parents, so I already have negativity against me. I already have generational curses against me. Of course, we're not being taught financial literacy, credit, and all of these different things in the household. So this is another strike that's going to be against me, right? But is this an excuse for me to fail? No, it just makes the journey a lot harder. I see y'all on TikTok. Thank you for following. Make sure you're tapping those hearts. We're trying to get up to 1,000 hearts. I can't see how many hearts are pumped right now because I have it covered. So make sure you guys are tapping those hearts. Right? So what we don't want to do is spend years chasing the income, or even another thing that I really have a pet peeve against is staying at a job with the same level of income forever, knowing that it's keeping you paycheck to paycheck, or saying, you know, I'm going to go get another rat race job and just stay there and do this and just pay the rent and maintain the rent. What is the rent going to get you? This is not an asset. And where I come from, hood to hooded, coming from the hood, a lot of people get caught up in the rent, make enough just to pay the rent, got to go to the payday loan page just to piece it together. When do we as a collective say, you know what, this isn't working? Something has to change. When do we start investing into land? And if you have land, when do we start doing this as a community? Investing into the businesses in our community. Regardless if they're going through a growing phase, because some people be like, oh, I went to the melanated business and they didn't do this right. Listen, how many businesses do you pay for and deal with every day who don't do stuff right? You still gonna patronize them. You get what I'm saying? But I kind of got off topic right there. All right. So my patient, back to the patient, when we talked about success without peace is just expensive suffering. And I'm going to say it again. Success, if you have success without peace, that is expensive suffering. And people don't understand why dentists will go off and, kick the bucket. They'll go off and have a high SUICIDE rate. They have a high volume of that. You'll see you'll see people who are very successful go off and do these things and just end it all. because they're attached to success without peace. Now, somebody can be broke as a joke, but if they got peace, they richer than you. They way richer than you because peace is priceless. And I can't stress that enough. Peace is priceless. Stressing yourself out just to pay rent, which is a liability, or just to, you know, even pay a mortgage, or, you know, have this expensive life that looks Instagram worthy, but really you're suffering and you got to maintain this every day. That's not peace. Like my patient told me, we were talking about entrepreneurship and all the ebbs and flows that go with entrepreneurship, because it is glamorized and it is hard, and you really have to stay focused. It's not for the weak. You have to be very intentional every day, because no one's holding your hand telling you what to do as an entrepreneurship. You're in the driver's seat, and that scares a lot of people. But my thing is, don't be scared of it. Just try it out, because this is an experience that you're going to be able to take to you to the next adventure. Life is an adventure. For me, I'm realizing every day it's an adventure, and the adventure really don't never stop. At first, it was an adventure for me just getting through all the trauma of being a child, in which I literally hated life. I hated the fact that I lost my mom. I hated the fact that I wasn't in a home with my dad. I hated the fact that I had to go through custody battles and switch schools every year. I hated that part. But guess what? It was an adventure. After it was over and I survived that, it became my testimony, right? And then when I got to college, it was like another adventure. Like, oh my God, these classes. I'm a college student now. Don't have really parents to call when some shit go left. I gotta hustle to get these books. I gotta have 2-3 jobs at sometimes in college. But guess what? I'm gonna do it because generational curses are not broken by excuses. They are broken by the people who turn the excuses into the fuel, right? College is over. Oh, what's the next adventure? Dental school. Now, this is a hard-ass adventure. You have to really do a lot of work and prepare yourself for years to be that type of student who can matriculate successfully through dental school. This is another adventure. So you see, every step of your life is going to be a new adventure, and it's not going to be perfect, but it will add on to the experience that you have. And you take this experience, and with this experience, you make brighter, more intelligent decisions that can get you closer to a dream or success where you have peace and success versus just success and expensive suffering. You won't care about what people say. You will do everything that you want to do because it makes you feel happy and at peace, not because it looked good for the gram. All right? Back to what my patient said, because I said that like 3-4 times. She said entrepreneurship is like having on gold handcuffs. And I was like, you damn right, almost. It was a bit dramatic when she said that, but I was like, some days that's how it feels. Like you have gold, but it's handcuffs because you have to keep this business growing, going, marketing, all of that. And only the strong will survive. And only the strong will use that experience from being an entrepreneur, or from following your dreams, or from, you know, having to go through so much to get to where you're trying to go. Only those people will come out on the other side and be okay, where you can take those handcuffs off. I don't ever want to be tied to gold handcuffs. I don't care how much money I'm getting. And I think that's what I realized in this season is I prefer peace, a stress-free life, simplicity overall, and whatever aligns with that is what I need to do, right? Now back to what we were talking about. So that's what my patient said, y'all. She said it's like having on gold handcuffs, and I was like, you might be right. Ask any entrepreneur, and they're gonna be like, yeah, it is not like. So when I'm promoting people to go out and do entrepreneurship, just know that it's hard work. It's not something that you just wake up and you're successful. It takes years and years of consistency, sometimes with $0, sometimes with everything going wrong. But that doesn't mean it's not working. It just means that you got to keep going. It's just that simple. You just got to keep going and keep learning from your mistakes. So for me, I'm still learning. At my big old age, I'm always going to be a lifelong learner of financial literacy, a lifelong learner of entrepreneurship, dentistry, just understanding who I am and trying to get better every single day. If you're not trying to get better every single day, you sleeping on yourself, and can't nobody save you from that, right? So we don't want success without peace. We don't want expensive suffering. We want peace plus success. Peace has to be number one. Happiness has to be number two. And number three, then we can have all the other stuff that might make you smile. You might want a mansion. But if you have happiness and peace and then you get what you want, if that's what you want, then great. But if you get in something just because it looks good and now you disturbing your peace and happiness because you're trying to hang on to something that is like a liability or stressing you out, just let it go. Pick the peace and happiness first. And I don't think we talk about that enough. That's how you will get these professional people who end it all because they feel like they have so much responsibility and no peace, because anybody who is at peace doesn't do these type of things. Anybody who is at peace is gonna eliminate anything that's disturbing my peace, period. Right? So we just in inspiration mode today. This is just one of those talks that you can just put on while you're cleaning your house, laying in bed, thinking about your future, because I know I'm not the only person tired of feeling owned by bills, and I mean like overhead bills for me. The overhead with this inflation in this economy is really, really tough, but it's better to talk about it and pivot and continue to adapt through everything you go through, because that's just how life is. All right? And honestly, guys, I feel like a lot of us have normalized the struggle. We have normalized exhaustion. I feel like I have normalized exhaustion, even from a teenager, just working 2-3 jobs, working overnight, triples, doubles. I've been there, done that. Been there, done that. Right? But at some point, you realize that the struggle has become your identity. And we don't want that to be our identity. I want my identity to be what? Peace and happiness, not exhaustion. Oh, I'm a great hustler and I work hard and I'm working myself to death. What are the assets that you're working towards? Is it rent? That's not an asset. Is it just subscriptions and bills so you can watch TV and be comfortable in a box? That's not an asset. Assets are like, oh, say you get a car off of Facebook Marketplace. Now you renting this out on Turo. Now this car is making you money. You're not just driving this car every day putting in gas. Now someone else is driving your car and they're paying you money. Asset. Or you bought you a little piece of property, you got into some real estate, go play Monopoly. We should be playing Monopoly in real life. You feel me? That's one reason why I have the Monopoly game, because I realized, dang, we're supposed to be buying up the block in real life. Play Monopoly with your kids. This is financial literacy. Play Monopoly with your significant other. Financial literacy, because if you can see it and think it and envision it, you can have it. You can have anything you envision, but don't envision rent. Don't envision paying subscriptions and paying bills for the rest of your life, because no one is coming to save you. We have to save ourselves, save our own communities. Period. Right? And ambitious people like myself, sometimes we can get caught up in normalizing exhaustion. We can wear it like a badge. Like, you know what? I'm a hard worker. I don't get no sleep. I don't want to be a part of team no sleep. I like my sleep, especially as you get older. Sleep is very important to your growth, to the things you learn, to retaining everything, to your memory. It's everything. But if you get caught up in, oh, I got to work hard and work till I'm dead and pay rent. No, that's not it. That ain't it. Whoever taught us that is wrong. It's wrong, guys. I don't know who taught us that, to get out and pay a bill. That ain't it. Teach your kids how to get some credit, get a property, and rent that property out. We living in the properties forever. Why aren't we renting these properties out? Getting another property, renting that out. Doing some other type of thing like starting a family business. I don't know. It's a million things that we can do. Right? But don't wear the overtime like a badge of honor, the no sleep, the constant stress, the anxiety, no peace, no time to take a vacation. They gonna give you some points and shit. No, 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 no. This is somebody else running your whole entire life, your whole entire existence. You don't have any freedom. You can't say, you know what, my baby's sick, I ain't coming in today. They gonna be like, well, you gonna be fired. That's not peace. That's stress. Because now you gotta put your job over your child. You gotta put your job over raising your kids or teaching them financial literacy or just being there. Because it's all about the dollar. No, it's not all about the dollar. It's all about your peace of mind. Because when you can't make the dollar, say something happened to you, what do you have to show for it, guys? That is normally called success. Somebody who's a hard worker, they got 5 jobs, they got this. No, 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 no. How many assets do you have? That's true success. If your entire life would collapse because you got 2 weeks of rest that you honestly deserve, that's not freedom. That's dependency. You kind of addicted to exhaustion. Ooh, I just feel like that. You just addicted to being exhausted, addicted to being stressed out, addicted to paycheck to paycheck. And you can change that. I have seen it too many times. But many times people have to get put into a tight bind before they will exploit their gifts, before they will go hard. I see it over and over and over again, right? It's someone on Instagram called Ellie Talks Money. Great, great channel. Very, very educational material, like very enlightening. And she talks about how she lost her job. I don't want to get the story wrong. You might have to look her up for yourself, but I'm going to just give you a summary. But she lost her job. She had 3-4 kids at the time. Husband left. She had to move back home with her mom. And then she just said, you know what? I'm going to start posting on Instagram. That year she became a millionaire from being consistent because she had to show up for her babies. Sometimes your weakest moment can be the seed that you need to plant. Sometimes that weakest moment is what you need. It's the moment that you need to pivot, because if life hadn't crumbled down from the system that you put yourself in, this prison system where you just work and paying rent, you will never leave that system. But if something happened and you get backed into a corner, then you'll be like, you know what? Now it's time to rely on my gifts. But what if you rely on your gifts anyways and stop relying on what the system told us was successful? Because being a victim to what's going on now, all the bills, the subscriptions, and the rent, and the family breaking up, everybody don't got time for each other. The only time you see your kids is after school, and then you see them for 2 to 3 hours. This isn't life. This is called the Matrix. And just in case you was wondering, it's called the Matrix because it looks like you working hard for something, but if you calculate your assets, it's like, damn, I'm just paying liabilities. Where are my assets? Right? Where are the assets? And it's a hard conversation when you have to transform out of what you thought was working into something that may be better for this season of your life. And that's one thing I realized with dentistry. I've went through so many seasons this first 10 years. If you don't know, this month I will be a dentist 10 years. Yes, let me pat myself on the back. 10 years of dentist. Almost 4 of those years as an entrepreneur with motivational dentistry. You see it. And it hasn't been the easiest thing. And I think I'm headed towards a new season in my career. I want to move, shut things down, do something different, and try something new. And a lot of people would never do that. They would be like, oh, no, I got to keep going, No, it's time for me to pivot and move to the next level because I'm always about growing. Nothing is the ceiling for me. I don't see no ceiling. Dentistry definitely has a season. And you can't be ashamed of your season. Don't be ashamed because each season is meant to teach us something, guys. During this season, I would say dentistry taught me leadership. It taught me what true pressure is of having your own and being responsible for the things that go on there. It taught me responsibility, right? It was overwhelming, but I'm so happy that I'm now allowed to take this experience to the next season, wherever that may be. It's exciting. So this next season is going to teach me alignment, because if I'm out of alignment with who I am, it doesn't matter how hard I work. I still must stay in alignment with who I am, The things that make me happy and the things that give me peace. And the same with you. Do the things that make you happy and the things that give you peace. And if something isn't making you happy, if your job isn't giving you peace, it's time to exploit those gifts. And many of us won't exploit them until we get our back against the wall. So exploit your gifts now. Don't wait till the last minute. What are you good at? Everybody who's watching this, whether you're watching this live on the replay, you got a gift and you sleeping on it. I'm gonna need you to wake up. I need you to wake up. For me, I love streaming. That's why I keep coming back to streaming and trying to help people break generational curses and encourage myself to continue breaking these curses and build generational wealth, because there's so many of them. The system puts so many obstacles in our way, and now they're putting even more obstacles in the way. Sky high rent, sky high gas, everything sky high. Groceries sky high. You have kids, daycare sky high. Everything is so high that you gotta almost pick and choose, and it should never be that way. You should be in charge of your own life. It's easier said than done. But I know you know how to do something. You know how to bake. You know how to do some makeup. See, me, I always had a gift for doing hair. I don't care where I'm at in this world. If I ever get down on my luck, which hopefully I will never have to resort to my skill of braiding hair, but I can always pull somebody to the side and braid their hair. That's going to be a skill that I had since a teenager. Now I prefer to do teeth, but I can always have that skill. So what skill do you have? It could be any skill. Let's not even think about the things that I do. Let's think about other skill. Plumbing, electrician, mechanic, locksmith. We're just thinking outside of the box right now. Painting business. What else? I don't know. Recycling business. I'm just trying. Solar business. I've been looking into solar energy and stuff. I think it's really cool. Someone could really make some money off of that. Maybe you an excellent cook. You the cook of the family. Maybe you start you a seafood company, a fast food restaurant. I don't know. A laundromat. It's so many things that you could do where you don't have to do what you're doing right now, but only you know what gifts call you. You only know that. And so many people live with those gifts buried instead of planted. We talked about this the other day. Do you feel buried? Do your gifts feel buried, or do they feel planted? There is a difference. Some people have gifts and they like, well, I used to want to do this, but now I just go to work, go home, pay bills, go to work, go home, pay bills, go to work. You in the rat race. That gift that you buried, I need you to plant it. When you plant a gift versus when you bury a gift, there are two big differences. Burying a gift is like, I don't want to see it again. I'm embarrassed that I didn't finish, or I have a lot of regret. Something didn't go right. Maybe the relationship messed it up. You messed it up. You got off track. You had a kid. It's going to be so many excuses when you bury a gift, because what are you burying your gift under? A lot of excuses. One on top of the other, to the point where you can't even see your dream no more because you got too many damn excuses, right? We're getting out of Excuseville and we're going to the season where we're planting our seeds. So if you have a gift and you planted your gift, this means that you have to water the gift. You have to fertilize the gift. You have to put energy into it. You won't see anything sprout. You won't see any flowers. You won't see any fruit produced from your gift until you put energy into it. If you don't put any energy into it and you putting all your energy into liabilities don't grow. That's kind of like burying your gift. Anytime you invested in liabilities, you're paying the same rent for 30, 40 years, you're doing the same thing for 30, 40 years, you're just burying your gift deeper and deeper and deeper versus planting your gift. When you plant it, you actually working every day thinking about it. You working on it. Even if it's just making a call to see what you got to do. Even if it's just doing the prerequisites. Even if it's just going to, get your branding together, your colors together, a logo. But damn what it is, do one thing a day to advance your gift. Me, I have got away from me being just a motivational dentist. Now I call myself a creator. Because see, when you a creator, I don't want to be locked into just being a dentist. And And I realized that, dang, I'm more than just a dentist. I'm actually a creator. Create what? A creator who does dentistry. How about that? Now I'm not locked into just this identity. I love dentistry, but it's not just one thing about me. There's so much more, right? My profession is not my entire identity. Don't get caught up thinking that your job is just your only identity. Oh, I work for this place. That's not your whole identity. What else are you? Who else are you? Don't get distracted. Society teaches to become one thing forever. And I have never been able to just do one thing, honestly. Humans evolve, dreams evolve, your energy evolves. So if you're getting stuck doing one thing forever and it's not your dream, then you are who I'm talking about, unfortunately. And I need you to outgrow that old version of yourself. The version that buries everything under the dirt. I'm burying all my dreams and aspirations and goals. Girl, I'm burying it. And you'll get around people who have buried their dreams and they'll try to get you to bury yours too, 6 feet under. They'll be like, girl, don't do that. Bury it and come and work forever. No, ma'am. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We are transforming. Right? Transforming. This means you're not trying to be like nobody else. You're not copying this person. You actually transforming yourself to get closer to what? Peace and happiness. Success is third. Because success sometimes don't give you peace and happiness. You got to go into the mission with peace and happiness. And knowing that if something ever get in the way of your peace and happiness, you got to eliminate it. Bye. Out of here. Don't be afraid of the repercussions. Don't be afraid of nothing. Because as long as you got air in your body, you can get up and live and breathe and see the sun come out. You're going to be okay. I promise you, you're going to be okay. But if you continue to bury everything with your excuses, no one can save you. So be honest. Right? Are you trying to save the old version of yourself? Or are you trying to outgrow it? And when you're in the process of outgrowing your old self, of course it's going to be hard. So expect that it's going to be hard. Going and saying, you know what? I'm ready to level up. I'm ready for whatever comes my way. This is what you got. I'm ready for whatever comes my way. Because things are going to come your way. Just expect it. Right? Some people listening right now, you don't even hate your career. Right? You just hate what life became around it. For me, I don't hate my career at all, but I'm to a place now where I need to pivot a little bit because now it's getting to the point where I did this. It's time for me to go a little bit higher. I can't stay stagnant forever, right? You might hate the commute. You might hate the debt. You might hate the pressure, the maintenance, constant survival mode. I don't know. But let me tell you this. Starting over, guys, is not failure. Downsizing is not failure, right? Wanting peace is definitely not failure. This is all wisdom. Okay? Now to the people out there who are just starting their journey, you in the first couple years, you keep going, you keep trying, it's not really working out for you. You in the valley of silence with me. A lot of us are in the valley of silence. This means that you're staying consistent with your goals, but you're not reaping the rewards. The journey through dentistry is often full of years where you're working hard, you're taking all these tests, you're doing board exams. You have no guarantee to be a dentist until you actually get to dental school after you get in. But before then, you have years and years of hard work, community service, doing all these different things in the valley of silence, praying and hoping that you get into the 1 to 2%, right? So this is why you have to stay consistent even when nothing is changing yet. When I was a college student trying to be a doctor, driving an hour away just so I can work for free at a dental practice because I know I need a letter of recommendation, I wasn't getting paid. Nothing was changing, but I knew that in the future, My future self would thank me for making this action right here without the pay. It would thank me for wiping the seats down and setting the room up and being ambitious and asking questions and being in the midst and going to basically harass the doctor. Hey, doctor, I want to work for free. Some people ain't going to do that. Some teenagers and people in college not getting up on a Saturday morning. No. Before the dental office opens so you can catch the doctor walking in. No, they're not doing that. And then you catch the doctor walking in. Hey, doc, I've been calling you. No, they're not doing that. I need to come and shadow you and work for free. I'll work for free. That's how you get in the door. And then they like, hell yeah. Now I'm in here working for free. Talking to the doctor. Looking at what he doing. Looking very interested. Because I am at this point. You get what I'm saying? Consistency with no pay. The valley of silence. A lot of us are in the valley of silence. If you're trying something new, me with the streaming and creating content, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this, but it still hasn't, grown massively. It's still just in the valley of silence. This is a time when you got to keep growing. Keep showing up. That's when the battle is truly real. Right? Everybody talk about the glow up phase, but nobody really ever want to talk about the invisible phase. And it's not you. It just takes showing up, keeping it going. Even if you have a business and you're trying to promote your business online, you might not be getting a lot of likes. Keep posting it. Keep talking about it. Somebody see you. Somebody see you. Right? Now, the valley of silence, guys, this is where most people's dreams die. They like, it's too quiet for me. I don't think they're feeling me. Instead of like, this is the season where I'm grinding, testing it out. Okay, that didn't work. Let me try this. Let me keep going. You're not getting any applause. You're not getting any money. No validation. You don't have any viral moments yet, but still you showing up. This is a person who deserves what comes with the next level because you, I don't know if I could say humbled yourself, but you kind of did your time, I guess we could say. Right? And that's where I am at right now. So if you feel like this and you still showing up, you still creating, you still believing, you're still building, you're still teaching with $0 for what you have a passion for doing, this is going to help you be successful in the future. And your future self, just like my future self, is going to thank you. Right? Because you leading with a vision and not with this buried dream. I don't know why I'm having a hard time saying that word today. Buried. You get what I'm trying to say. Right? Thank y'all for tapping the hearts, liking the live on TikTok. If you watch it from the other platforms, go ahead and tap in. Make sure you tap in those hearts. Smash that subscribe button so you can know when I'm going live. Right? Honestly, guys, I think if you can be consistent while you're broke, that is the purest forms of faith, because you can do this knowing that you broke. Going back to my college years, I was doing that knowing that I was broke as hell, had a minimum wage job, 2-3 jobs. No guarantee to get where I am right now. But my vision, you can't mess with my vision. My vision is over there somewhere. My vision is never right here where I'm at right now. So that's how you have to be. Your vision has to be forward thinking. Your vision can't be stuck on today. Your vision can't be stuck on the things that you don't have. Your vision can't be stuck on, dang, I'm living pay. What are you going to do for your future self? Will your future self, just ask yourself this question, guys. With what you're doing right now and the decisions that you're making for your life right now, will your future self thank you? Or is your future self crying and like, oh, hell no, girl, you fucked me up? Will your future self thank you or not? Is your future self going to be proud of you and be like, girl, we did that? Or is your future self going to be like, dang, what is she doing? I want my future self to be proud. Right? And the only way I can do that is if you stay calm and consistent during your growing or your planting season or your invisible season, whatever season you're in, you got to stay calm, growing, glowing, and you can't even worry about the money, who clapping for you, all of that. Don't worry about all of that. Just continue to grow every day. I promise you, when the seeds start to grow and you see the fruits of your labor bursting through the soil, you're going to be so happy. But if you bury everything, you're not watering it, you ain't thinking about it, you just piling on all of the liabilities and excuses. Don't expect nothing from your future self. Just don't expect nothing. Your future self is not going to pay you for being lazy. Your future self is not going to pay you and reward you for not even trying, not even having a vision for your future. That's why a lot of times I love to ask young people the question of, like, what do you want to be in the future? What do you see for yourself in the future? And ironically, a lot of kids don't know nowadays. You asked me that question back then, I'm going to be a doctor. And people might have looked at me crazy because I'm this little hood ghetto girl or whatever, but I'm going to be a doctor. And they probably was like, okay. But to me, it didn't have nothing to do with them. It has something to do with what I see for the future, what I see in my vision. People could think your dream's crazy as hell. It don't matter. They could doubt you all day. It doesn't matter. They could talk about your past and where you came from. It don't matter. As long as your vision is clear, that's what matters. Nobody clapping for you yet. That don't matter. You don't have any proof of yours. That doesn't matter. The proof will come. Graduation from whatever struggle you going through, it will come. And then the people will clap. And it's cool if they clap, but you have to clap for yourself the whole time. So when the other people clap, it don't even faze you. It's like, thank you for clapping for me, but I've been clapping for myself. I been knew this was going to work. Well, I didn't know it was going to work, but I prayed and hoped and set it up so that it can work. You give yourself the best opportunity for success, even when you don't have any guarantees yet. Your spirit knows something your eyes can't fully see yet. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. Your spirit knows something your eyes can't see yet. I would like to think my mom just saw a doctor in me from a child. My aunt tells me the story. She used to buy you the white coats when you were a little girl for Halloween. So it probably embedded something into me where I'm like, yeah, I can do this. Regardless if I never met a black doctor when I was a kid, it's like, yeah, I can do this because my mama believed in me. She kind of taught me how to believe in myself. So now I'm believing and seeing something in myself that I can't fully see yet. I just know that, hey, I could probably do this if I try. I could do this, right? Sometimes your future sees you before the world sees you, okay? You'll say, so the next thing we're going to talk about is simplicity. Simplicity is power, guys. For me, myself, and I don't want a complicated life anymore. I want simplicity. Something that's meaningful, simple, that's different, right? What's up, Tea Time Beauty? Thank you for tapping those hearts. Thank you, Big Bay 81, tapping those hearts. Hi, Dr. Chief this Sunflower. What's up? So good to see you. I know I've been MIA. Took a couple of days off, but I'm back now. How you feeling today? Right. So some people think freedom is more looking good. Thank you. Thank you, beauty. So sometimes people think freedom is more, guys. Right? But a lot of times you have, you need me? A phone call? What happened? Huh? You sure? Many times freedom is less. Is less debt, less pressure, less pretending, less noise, less unnecessary responsibilities. So me, I want a simple life. I read a book a while ago. I forgot what it's called. It's like this Japanese author. It's about like getting rid of anything that you don't find like you're not in love. Not in love. Let me see if I can see what the name of this book is. Let me see if I can find the name of the book. Really good book here. I found it. I promise that was just a chair. I have a quote in my room: living on less makes my life better. I want the simple life too. Facts. I need the simple life. I don't want the life where I'm running chaotically. I don't have any time for me, stressed out. Like, no. No. Can't do it. So the book that I'm talking about is this book. It's The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. And it's a short book too. It looks kind of thick, but I say it's a short book, but it's like it's short to me, I guess. It's like 206 pages. It's a small book, but read this book. It will change your life. Okay, okay. I like books like that. Yes, it's The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. The Japanese Art of Decluttering and Organizing. Number one New York Times bestseller. It's by Marie Kondo. And I like this book because it just talks about like how you can tell if you really need things and the things that are just like wasting space. It helps you declutter. You can probably make some money off all the things you have, so that way your life is a lot more simple. You only keep the clothes that you love. You know what I mean? You're not just hoarding. You can open to any page and get some wisdom. Yes, you can open to any page in this book and get wisdom. Like, she has bold life books. I love life books. And a lot of people don't know that even if you feel like you don't want to grow in your career and you're comfortable, and I hate that word, I don't ever want to be too comfortable, or certain papers from things I've studied. A lot of people feel like they can't grow even with like personal skills. So I'm always trying to grow even with personal skills, like organization skills. You can grow with any skill ever. Like even with little books like this can change your life. So I'm going to just read the bold sentences because you can just turn any page and get some knowledge. She says, to quietly work away at disposing of your own excess is actually the best way of dealing with a family that doesn't tidy. So if you get rid of your own excess, this will help the family if they're not like tidying up. I know that's just a random sentence in the middle of the book, but you get what I'm saying? And another one is the urge to point out someone else's failure to tidy is usually a sign that you are neglecting to take care of your own space. It sounds like sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mine. Right? That's what it sounds like. So I love this little book when we were talking about simplicity is power. So less debt, less pressure, less pretending, less noise, less chaos, less unnecessary responsibilities when you have a simple life. Only get the things that you love. Don't hold on to the things that you simply like. Oh, I like it, but it's all right. Like, I like those shoes, but, you know. So, that's just a little tidbit. So, the reason why simplicity is underrated is because the world profits off of our confusion. The world loves it when they're giving you all of these ads. You need this thing, that thing, this gadget, that gadget. Now you're a hoarder. You have a house full of things that you never use. You have a closet full of clothes that you didn't even wear. Tags still on them because you had this impulse buying, or you have this pressure from the world encouraging you to add more confusion and chaos to your life. Instead of saving, for those assets, now you're spending your money on more confusion. Not more peace, but more things trying to impress strangers. When you have a simple life, You will say, I don't need to impress strangers anymore. I want peace. What else do you want when you are in this newfound life where you're transforming and you're not worried about the outside noise? You're going to want some assets. Remember that word. Rent is not an asset unless it's like tied to business, but I'm not talking about business. I'm just talking about personal, right? No, my computer is reconnecting. No. I hate when that happens. If you watch it on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, the computer is not working. And that really sucks. Come on. Don't quit like that. Maybe I have to restart it, guys. OCO on Instagram, Charlie Hustle 713.